Browns might value Mayfield more than any of the other 31 teams in the league because this was a franchise in quarterback hell. 2019, when Mayfield started all 16 games, Ike, the Browns hadn't had a quarterback to do that since Tim Couch in 2001. You know the old clip, the picture of the Browns fans where they've got whoever's quarterback jersey, and it's all the names that are crossed out. It's a social media hilarious picture. So if you want to pay Baker Mayfield 35 to 40 million, it's like, is he actually worth that, or is he worth that to Cleveland specifically? And that's really the big dilemma that I would have, because I think Baker Mayfield's very middle of the road. I think there are a lot of quarterbacks that are better than him, especially in the AFC. I also think there are many quarterbacks worse than him. If the Steelers end up getting an Aaron Rodgers, or they end up getting a stud in the draft, say a Matt Corral out of Ole Miss, or one of these young quarterbacks who will be coming in next year. If you're the Browns, you could be talking about having the fourth worst quarterback, or the fourth best quarterback, I should say, in the division, because we know what Lamar can do. We know what Joe Burrow is doing this season. Bengals have been excellent so far entering week 8 of the NFL season. And then what Big Ben has been traditionally for Pittsburgh, he's in the final year of his contract. Steelers probably aren't going to bring him back. We'll see what happens there. But if they make an upgrade and bring Rodgers into the division, or get a young stud, or someone like, say, maybe a Russell Wilson, who's I've read things that listen, if the Steelers make an upgrade at quarterback, you've got to be sitting there as a Browns organization asking, are we sure we want Baker Mayfield, not just for our franchise, but relative to the rest of the teams in the division? That's something that they're going to have to figure out. And it's the gamesmanship, Ike, it's fascinating to me, because it's not just what you're doing for your organization, but what you're doing for your organization relative to the other teams in your division who you're playing twice a year.
I mean, now you're talking like a goddamn GM. I love it, Mark. Now you're talking. So you look at that division, Mark, and you ask yourself, between Big Ben and Baker Mayfield, right now y'all rank third in our division when it comes down to quarterback play.
Yep.
This is 3A, 3B, depending on who have the better week than the other person. Between Lamar between Lamar Jackson and I'm drawing a blank.
Joe Burrow, Joe Cool.
Yeah, between Jamar and Joe Burrow, man, you got to tip your hat to them. You two are the best two right now in the division. So who's the third and the fourth? Well, it just depends on, what week it is and what stats and what help their team win for that week. So 3A, 3B when it comes down to Baker Mayfield and Big Ben. So, yeah, you're 100% right. Going into it as a GM, looking into it the first 4 quarters of the season, because the GMs like to break it down by every 4 games, or every 4.1 now. Every 4 games on what quarterback has the best play. That's just what it is. So, I mean, you hit it on the head, Mark. So for Baker, he got to put himself, in the general manager's perspective, like, how do I feel up against a Joe Burrow and a Lamar Jackson and Big Ben? Okay, let me check my stats. I think both of them, between Big Ben and Baker Mayfield, both of them have the same kind of stats. Right now with the touchdown to interception ratio, it's just how do I feel up and how do they look at me? And you're right. And I think you hit it on the head again when you said, Cleveland feel like Baker Mayfield might be the best situation for us. Not exactly the best situation in general, but just the best situation for the Cleveland Browns. He's gritty. He's tough. He don't give a what. He don't have a I don't give a what attitude. You kind of like that in him. So that's he always been like that. He's been like that since the Oklahoma days. So we'll see how Cleveland feels about him in the offseason. But I think Cleveland is going to take their time on signing Baker Mayfield, to be honest with you.